Hey guys, and welcome back to this place. If you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I am Carmen, and today we are going to be watching Season 2, Episode 1 of Battlestar Galactica. I'm so excited because I have to believe that Adama is going to be okay, and we're going to find that out in this episode. I could be in for a very rude awakening in like a minute and a half, but that is my hope, okay? I will keep hope alive until it's officially dead, you know? So last season was amazing. I really loved getting to know all of the characters and the storylines and just where we are, sort of orienting myself in time and place. And I think that I've done that pretty well so far. I'm still like, there's still moments where I say Earth instead of Caprica or something like that, but I'm getting there. I'm not going to talk about the entire season because that would take way too long. I have reactions to every episode, talked about every episode, so I'm just going to say, last time in the season finale, we had a lot of stuff happening. We had Boomer shooting Adama, who hopefully will be okay. I mean, this is an advanced, somewhat civilization, right? Hopefully they have advanced healing. I don't know. We had Sharon meeting Starbuck and Hilo and all of them coming together, and they're going to go back to the Battlestar Galactica, and then we're going to see how all of that goes because Boomer on the Battlestar Galactica having a lot of issues. Sharon probably not going to fare much better because everybody's going to know that she's fully a Cylon now. Yeah, and then we have everything going on with Gaius and Six on Cobol and whatever they're looking at or she's projecting for him to see, and then all of that situation. Yeah, there's just a lot going on. So I'm going to stop rambling. Hopefully we will very soon find out that Adama lived. Okay, we're just starting right off. Okay, yeah, here we go. Medics. You, let the medics do their job, Lee. Is he having a flashback to when they met? Yeah. Get him to medbay. Is this gonna be a flashback?
I'm your new shipmate, Bill Adama.
Aww.
Saul Ty.
What's going on? What happened? No, wait.
She has no memory of it, probably.
Put him in the break.
How? Ty.
My father!
That's pretty cold.
This has got to be part of a bigger plan. I recommend we execute jump to emergency standby coordinates.
Oh, but then Starbuck's gonna come back and...
Single contact. Cylon base star, bearing 487 Karam 015.
So what's your plan here? Personally, I tend to go with what you know.
What's he gonna do?
We are making an immediate jump to the emergency coordinates.
Go!
Sir, Duck Huddle is still 15 minutes away.
What about our people on the surface of Cobol?
If they're still alive, they'll have to wait.
Okay. Okay. I still think it's pretty messed up that they put him back in the frickin' brig.
John, what have they done to you? What's going on?
My father's been shot.
Yeah.
Someone get this fracking thing off me, please. I'm not authorized to do that yet.
I'm behind the fracking bars!
His dad just got shot and might die, and you're gonna really stand behind protocol?
How bad is your father?
Bad.
I mean, he got shot like
2 bullets in the chest.
Oh, only twice? Okay. I was gonna say 3 times. I mean, not only twice. Not like, that's not a lot.
Jump completed.
Report. Report!
No contacts.
No contacts. Where's the fleet?
No colonial signals.
What? Where? They all jumped,
They're gone,
though.
sir.
But they all jumped. Where the hell did the rest of them go? I'm confused. Where is the rest of the fleet?
Going to make a wonderful father.
Speaking metaphorically, of course.
And literally. She's our child, guys.
What? She
A
has
little girl.
she has a baby too?
Do you want to hold her?
Yes.
That was almost a no. Yes.
She's not real any more than
Any of that's real.
She's real. She may not be with you yet, but she will be. Soon.
I'm having a little difficulty. I'm trying to understand. I want to understand.
It's confusing. It's not been 9 months. I don't think.
You're the mother.
And you're the father.
Am I the father?
Excuse me?
So they did follow him?
If you don't mind me asking, where are we going? Crash down.
Tree line. We can hide.
Cover.
Galactica will be sending a rescue party.
I mean, not right now. That's for sure. Sorry, I know that y'all can hear that freaking sound. Probably, but it's really loud. Sorry.
What's going on, Saul? Where's the fleet?
We don't know. They jumped to another location.
Why would they do that?
Watch, we update our emergency jump calculations with new star fixes to compensate for inertial drift, and then we transmit them to the rest of the fleet. This time ours were updated, but theirs weren't.
Okay.
So it's Data's fault.
The kid was overwhelmed. He had his hands full.
Sounds like a pretty big
I
screw up to
should
me.
have checked before I gave the order to jump!
Oh gosh. I mean, you were.
You don't let people slide. You bust their.
Okay. Somebody was just shot.
He'll make it.
If he doesn't, this will be your ship. All I'm saying.
This
you
is
need
Bill Adama's ship. This is his command. His orders are still the word of the gods in this ship. This will be Adama's command until the day he dies. And we are not going to let him die.
I feel bad for him.
So say we all.
So say we all.
So how do we find the fleet?
If we jump back to our original coordinates, our nav computers can use those star fixes to generate a best fit solution given the fleet's current position.
How long will it take to calculate once we get back there? 12 hours?
12 hours, that's way too long.
Captain, you've got to get reinstated. You've got to get back to CIC.
What do you want him to do?
Ty's not letting me out of here. I put a gun to his head. He won't forget that anytime soon.
Probably true.
I am so sorry that I got you into this, Captain.
No, don't apologize.
He chose.
I knew what I was doing. I didn't do it for you. I did it for... Well, actually, I did it for nothing, turns out.
That's not true. You took a stand.
Yeah.
And now look at us.
It's not ideal situation, but like you stood up for what you thought was right. That's good. That baby is haunting him.
We're out of Sarazone.
Target the other med kit. What other med kit? Fucking tell me. We pulled 2 med kits from the ship. I told you to keep an eye on both of them.
I only saw the one, sir.
There were 2.
I'm sorry, sir, but I don't remember you
Well,
telling
I
me.
did!
If he doesn't get more Sarazone soon, he's not gonna make it.
If they don't have it, like, I don't really know what you think he can do.
You forgot the med kit, so you're gonna have to go back and get it. Take a rifle, 3 clips of ammo, and a canteen. Come on. Watch the rear. Callie and I can go with them.
Her consciousness is being downloaded into another body right now. And when she wakes up, she'll tell them exactly where we are.
She's right, Mom. Sharon the Cylon is right.
I mean, she is.
Kara, she helped me get this far.
I remember the first day I met you, Starbuck. You were puking your guts out in the head because you'd eaten bad oysters on the bridge.
Don't do that.
Hey! Put it down, for God's sakes.
What do you want from me, Hilo? She's a Cylon.
Yeah.
Get out of the way.
He's not gonna get out of the way.
I'm not gonna let you kill her. Okay? She's carrying my child.
How do
you know that?
I know, all right?
They lie about everything, Hilo.
They don't lie about everything.
Their entire existence is a lie. You can't have a baby with a machine.
But she knows it's more complicated than that because of the Raider.
She is not like the others.
Where is she? Sharon, what the hell? They kind of need that.
How's he doing?
Yeah. Update.
The bullets tore up his spleen. His blood pressure is way down. Somebody needs to get in there and stop the bleeding, or we'll lose him.
We don't have the doctor.
I'm getting back in the cockpit. I'm getting back into my fleet.
I want you to come with me, Saul.
You really believe that we can get back in the fleet?
Yeah, I do.
What's that story? What's happening there?
How long till Doc Cottle's aboard?
He didn't jump with them, so...
He doesn't have much time, sir.
Is he the only doctor in the whole entire... Do you have a surgeon? Do you have...
You're gonna have to go in yourself.
I don't think she knows how.
I'm just a medic.
Today you're a doctor.
Imagine the pressure on this poor woman. You're a doctor and the head of the entire fleet's life depends on you. I do not envy her position.
Open cell.
Okay, this is interesting. What's he gonna say? Don't hit, please. I don't like violence. Well, sometimes. Come on. Talk words.
How's the commander?
You bungled the job.
Then he's alive. Thank the gods.
It's exactly what I didn't want.
You gave the order to shoot the old man.
No one.
I mean, someone.
Just get it over with, you fracking coward.
I'm not gonna watch that, you guys.
Get it over with.
I mean, you should see that she's conflicted. Like, why do you think she shot herself? Like, I understand he's blinded by grief and pain, but it doesn't really excuse those actions, in my opinion.
Tell you what, Callie, makes you feel any better, I'll put him on hangar deck mop-up duty with you for next week.
Now you're talking.
For what? If anybody should on mop duty, it's LT.
Down! Get down!
Dude, oh, why would you keep standing there when there's bullets flying? I knew something was gonna happen when he stopped and turned around, though. I don't think he can move. Oh, he's just getting further killed. Oh, he's dying. They could at least shoot him in the head and be nice about it. Damn. I'm not advocating for this guy to die. I'm just saying. Did he just get shot again? It's not funny, but it's just like...
I'm gonna check you right now. It's just you're right. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
It might be that bad.
Shh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Stay with me. Hey, look at me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Here, be with me. Be with me. Come on.
No. He's dead. Oh, he's gonna take... What you doing with the soap?
We jump back to the last coordinates, but we network the FTL computer. Once they're linked, we'll only need 10 minutes to complete the calculations.
A lot better than 12 hours.
The old man would never do this, Colonel. No computer networks on his ship.
I acknowledge that. Sir, if we don't do this, we're never gonna find the fleet.
We can't do something he'd oppose, especially when it puts the entire ship at risk.
Ty, you gotta make a choice, bud. You have to make a choice, not Adama. You.
This is the XO.
Begin jump prep.
Ooh, interesting.
So how'd you do it? How'd you get off this frickin' freighter?
Connections.
Wish I had in-laws with pull.
Give me a couple of years. I'll have some pull. You watch me. I'll have my own Battlestar one day.
Aw, he does.
We jump in, we hold off the Cylons, we crunch the numbers, and we jump out. That's it. Simple plan.
The idea, simple. The execution, probably less than simple.
Software firewall ready?
We're gonna hope so.
Yeah. Cylon Battlestar and multiple Cylon Raiders bearing 487 Karam 221.
Okay, now you gotta fight. Ah, there's so many of them.
We'll be able to plot the fleet's position in 7 minutes.
That's a long time.
So you get some of those kills now that Starbucks AWOL?
Oh, we know I'm gonna clean up. My boy, shut up and focus. This is not a simulation.
Right? It's not a game. Like, you're fighting for your life here.
His heart stopped.
Well, then get me a knife.
Yeah. Oh god, she's gonna go in.
Here I come.
Guessing that's gonna slow down.
First firewall penetrated.
Oh god. Hurry! Can you hurry? Can you do it faster?
We got a new bogey.
What is that thing? I don't know, but whatever it is, it's bearing on Galactica. We gotta take it out.
It's big. Okay, that's fine.
Will you pray with me?
Aww. I don't know why that got me. I mean, they're all just people who are scared, you know?
That we might make... that we might destroy...
I thought Billy, like, knocked him out or something.
Help us turn away from the calls of the wicked.
Sounds good.
If you're
Oh.
certain salvation.
No. No, don't want to see it.
Calculations at 56%. Second firewall.
Dude, you're cutting it close. You are cutting it so close. What was that? Literally, she's just doing this with, like, no real training or anything. Can we...
Third firewall down.
Hurry! Hurry. 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 Hurry.
Apollo, we're straying into Galactic's engagement zone. Almost there. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Come on!
Apollo, don't do anything stupid. Lee. Okay, good, good. It's still gonna crash into it, though, right? Yeah.
Got a decompression in the flight pod. No explosion. No fire.
80%.
It was already 80%. Now it says 90-something%. Hurry! Go! 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 Go!
Network is broken.
But did they see it? Like, did they break through before you did that? We just don't know. Like, I couldn't tell. I guess we'll find out if we get followed.
3, 2, jump.
Jump completed.
Report.
Please, 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 please. I don't see anything else. I don't see anything. It looks like they're alone still. Okay. Okay.
Multiple contacts round the board.
There they are. There they are.
Colonial transponder, sir, we found him!
Yay! Okay, now bad did the Cylons follow, though? That's what I'm stressed about.
Contact the Rising Star. Tell Caudle to get his ass over here ASAP.
I'm scared. I'm scared like a red ship's gonna show up.
Hell of a job.
From now on, no more heart massages for me. I'm sticking to pills and enemas.
Let's hear it.
I managed to stop the bleeding. He's still critical.
I mean, she literally saved his life, though, so she did good. She did great. That's not what she's trained for. She's not a freaking surgeon. So, it's a whole different area of training.
Doc's on his way. Can you hear me, Bill?
Well, I mean, even if he can, he can't really be like, yeah, hear ya. What's going on? What's he doing?
Go away.
Captain Ty, shore patrol.
Who's that? Adama?
Major Adama's compliments. He wishes me to inform you you've been reinstated in the Colonial Fleet. The rank of captain.
Major.
Yep.
Welcome back to the fleet, sir.
He got the pull that he wanted, right? He was about to light whatever that was on fire.
You never should have brought me back in the service. If you'd just let me be, I'd have died back there in Caprica along with everyone else and been happier for it. I don't want a command. I never did. Don't you dare die on me now.
He doesn't want his friend to die. Even though he didn't, say it in the most vulnerable way. That's what he was saying, that he just doesn't want to lose his friend. And I think that that's cute. Is there someone on here? A hand, a person? What the fuck? Oh no! Oh no! So much worse! Oh no, there's Cylons! Of course, I literally just said I do not want it to be continued. Oh no, they didn't look because there was no fire, there was no immediate danger, so they didn't go and assess the damage that thing had done. But also it's massive and different, so I feel like they really should have relatively immediately, due to the fact that it's different. Sorry, I'm just a little stressed now. As per usual, I have a lot of conflicted feelings about Ty. I think he's a very complex character, and that's not a bad thing at all. But it makes it harder to, not harder. I think he just creates more conflicting emotions in people, right? Or at least in me. I can really only speak for myself, because it's, I don't know, actually, I think all of the characters on this show kind of are right and wrong in a lot of instances, or you can sort of agree or disagree with them in certain situations. I think Ty sometimes makes it easy to root against him, but also makes you come back around to kind of rooting for him at the same time, or at least understanding his perspective, right? So I really didn't agree with what he did at the beginning when he just sent Lee back to the prison cell after he just watched his father get shot and almost die. I think that he could have given him the grace of at least letting him go with Adama to the medbay, right? I think that he could have given him those moments with him just in case he didn't make it, so that Lee could have a chance to say goodbye, say something to his father, maybe while he was, that wouldn't be so marred in shock and pain and stuff, right? Of course, they're only so far, because the doctors, or medics in this instance, need to be able to do their job as well. But I think that giving Lee that leeway, funnily enough, I think it would have been a nice gesture. I understand that he held a gun to him. I understand that he chose opposite of him and Adama, and Ty probably feels betrayed by that, especially on behalf of Adama, because I think Ty feels like he owes a lot to Adama, not just his life, but as we learned later, you know, his station and everything, even if he sort of a little bit resents him for it. So I can understand feeling upset and betrayed on his behalf and Adama's behalf, but at the end of the day, that's his son. And I think that had Adama been conscious and able to understand, you know, and talk and articulate his thoughts and feelings about it, he probably would have wanted Lee to stay with him in case he didn't make it, you know, to have those moments with his son. So that was very not cool to me. I think that his conversation with Ellen was interesting because she was really pushing him to sort of be harder on Gaeta and to punish him, and Ty was much more understanding of Gaeta because he's like, no, you know, like, it was a very crazy situation and he made a tough choice and, you know, he tried. And I really liked seeing that side of him. Don't like Ellen, of course, you know. I don't know. She's not done anything to endear me to her yet, so we'll see. But I really liked him in that moment. I liked seeing his vulnerability throughout this. I liked seeing at the end Ty talk to Adama and say in a very sort of stereotypically male way, like, please don't die on me, I care about you. He didn't say those exact words, but that was the intention behind what he was saying. And I think that it's not just something that men do. Women also have a hard time being vulnerable and articulating vulnerability in a situation where the stakes seem so high to being vulnerable, right? You might lose this person that you care about. So it's much easier to try to shut off emotion and just deal with the immediate what's right in front of you than to give in to the emotion and the vulnerability and let yourself feel how you might feel losing that person. So I like to see that because I think that it's a very human response to losing somebody that you care about or the possibility of losing somebody that you care about. And I like to see the more human side of Ty. Like, initially when I started the show, like I think I said it in the first episode, like, he's a character on Teen Wolf that I very much disliked. And I was worried that that was going to like color my perception of him in this show. But so far it hasn't really. I think initially maybe I would say initially I was predisposed to disliking him, but also initially his character was very unlikable in this show. But throughout the season 1 and now into season 2, we've seen a lot more of his vulnerability and his just the reasons that he is the way that he is, and I find him much more sympathetic now. So yeah, Gaius was not in this episode a lot, but it's interesting his conversation with Six and her saying that that's their child. Obviously he knows it's a projection, like she's showing him something, but he's asking, like, is this baby real somewhere, you know? And perhaps here's the thing that I don't understand. Their consciousness can get uploaded to different bodies, right? So he had sex with her, the one body that was on Caprica. Her consciousness can exist in all these other bodies. That I understand. His genetic makeup, let's say, that could have existed within the body that he had sex with that would lead to a child, you know, being born, should only exist in the one body on Caprica, right? Like, that surely couldn't just be downloaded to anywhere else. So, as far as we're aware, that body died with the blast. And if it didn't, and it was the body that Starbuck just killed, either way, the body that had the genetic makeup is gone. Therefore, how will the child come to be? Unless pregnancy and that sort of thing in Cylons is different than it is in humans. I imagine in some way it has to be different, but they also are organic in a lot of ways, right? Which we've seen with the Raiders and like Sharon, Boomer, other Cylons that we've seen. So kind of confused about that whole situation. Also confused about what the implication of that is for Sharon and Hilo's possible baby, because she is pregnant. But again, we don't really know what pregnancy means for Cylons, or the way in which it happens, it develops, like all of that stuff. Like, we don't really know yet, at least. I'm certain at some point we'll find out more. Like, this is just scratching the surface of what we know, but I'll be interested to sort of try to understand that as it goes on, because the consciousness being uploaded, I get literal genetic material, like, that has to be like physically there, right? I don't know. I'm confused. I'm confused. Speaking of Sharon and Starbuck and Hilo on Caprica, where did she go? Why did she just get in that Raider and piece the fuck out? I mean, I understand that Starbuck was incredibly hostile, and so she could have been trying to do it to, like, save herself, right? But also, she's this whole time been invested in Hilo and saving him, so I feel like she wouldn't just leave without him, especially when he just saved her from Starbuck. It's also interesting because Starbuck has, you know, a very typical opinion of everybody, right, in the humanity at the time about Cylons, yet she knows that they're not just machines, right? She knows there's organic life in them. So you would think that she would be a little bit more accepting of the possibility of being able to procreate with a machine that is also organic life, rather than, like, you know, just a straight machine. Like, he doesn't think that he got a computer pregnant, you know what I mean? Like, just like a laptop. Like, he doesn't think that he got something that looks like this pregnant. He thinks that he got something that looks and feels and behaves like a human pregnant. So, like, it seems like you would accept that that's a possibility, you know? Unless she's just saying, like, it doesn't matter because the baby won't be human. Although, if it works in the way that you would think that it would work, it would be, like, at least half human. So, I don't know. I don't really know what I have to say about that. I think it's interesting because Starbuck has also shown herself to be sympathetic to Cylons. She prayed for that guy's soul to be shepherded into the afterlife. So she does have the capacity for compassion regarding Cylons. So I just wonder if she's just like, she almost died. She's tired. She feels hurt and betrayed because she did know and care about Boomer. So seeing her, but it not be her, would feel like a betrayal. You know, you're like, hey, I thought you were my friend. I've known you for years. Like, now I feel like I'm just the fool because you were a plant, you know, what are they called? Like a sleeper cell agent, right? A sleeper agent. Yeah. So I can understand her from that perspective being, like, upset about it. Also, I cannot believe that I have buried the lead so much. Adama is alive, okay? Like, he's struggling, yes, but I firmly believe that he will live, because to have him, like, live through this episode and then die in the next episode would be a very weird bit of storytelling, in my opinion, versus having him shot and either immediately die or die in this episode. That would be a narrative arc that makes more sense. So the fact that he survived through this episode makes me think that he will survive through this situation. Now, I don't know if he's going to survive throughout the entire show, but this situation, I think that he will survive because narratively that makes the most sense, you know. Which, so I'm glad that, like, my denial worked and my, you know, inability to accept anything else but his life, him living. I'm glad that it worked out for me and that he is alive. Also, super glad that that medic, who presumably has no training in surgery, was able to be a surgeon. Speaking of Ty, the flashbacks were really interesting. One, just because I'm not sure how long ago it was supposed to be, but it's just funny when they just put like a wig or hair dye on people and they're like, yeah, this was like 15, 20 years ago. And it's like, they would look different, but okay. Like, you know? Something that I'm interested in, though, is Adama's, like, full history. Like, are we gonna get to see more flashbacks? Are we gonna get to see more of Adama when he was younger? Like, how did all of this really come about? Because he was saying he wanted to get back into the fleet, and he now worked in a freighter, I believe. I could be getting this wrong. And then his wife's father had connections, so he was able to get back into the military, I presume. And he was like, I'm gonna have my own Battlestar someday. And it was like, oh, this is crazy. But he does, you know, like, he was right. He became the name that, like, people can throw around now, right? Which is what he was working towards when he was younger. So, but knowing that he wasn't that way and that he apparently married somebody who had more power or more prestige, or their family did, than him, like, I'm curious as to Adama's history, like, where he comes from, like, what's his story, who are his parents, like, you know, like, how did that in turn make him who he is, and how did that affect how he raises his kids, like, just all of it, you know? Like, I find that sort of character deep dive very fascinating. So I kind of hope that we do learn a lot more about Adama and his history throughout the show, and Ty. Like, Ty is very interesting too, you know? Like, he was also working on the freighter, and he was drinking, and he seemed to have really, like, not be doing well. And then Adama sort of lifted him up and helped him. So I would be interested to learn more about that as well. Yeah, and I was gonna say Starbuck and Gaius, I'm curious to know, I almost said Sharon, but I guess her identity is, like, planted inside her, right? In her mind, I mean. But yeah, I'm just curious to know about, like, all of the characters and their backstory, and, like, figure out more about them and figure out why, like, their backstory is relevant, and, like, the way that it affects their character and who they are and how they act and all of that stuff, because that is the stuff that I love. That is the stuff that I will sit here and overanalyze forever and just have the best time, because everything that happens to you in your life so vastly affects who you are and how you react to other things that will subsequently happen later in your life, right? So especially childhood. Childhood affects so much, because you're literally learning who you are and the world that you live in, and you're developing your personality and how you relate to people based off of, you know, how people relate to you, in particular your family. It's just fun. I just love psychology and trying to, like, figure out why people act the way that they do. So yeah, I want all of the backstory so that I can form, like, fully fleshed out opinions of all of the characters and, like, why they're doing these things that they're doing. Maybe I'm just, like, a nerd like that. I don't know. Anyway, what else happened? I felt bad for that one guy that just got freaking killed. Did we learn his name? We probably learned his name. I don't remember it. The actor looks very familiar to me, though. When they're walking back, and they're talking, which they weren't supposed to be doing, because they're, you know, he said, be quiet, listen, with your ears on the way there, so I assumed those same rules would apply on the way back. They were not applying, and then he stopped and turned around to face them, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna get shot. I really thought it was gonna be like right in his head, but they made it a little bit more dramatic than that, and yeah, unfortunately, he did not make it, which would be very traumatizing, like not just for, I mean, obviously for him, like that sucks, but like it's very traumatizing for the other people involved as well, because they're stuck on this planet, their people are dying, they can't really stop it, they're waiting for a rescue that they don't know if it's going to come. Currently it's not trying to come and get them yet, but hopefully at some point. But how long will that be? How long will they have to survive on the surface of this planet? Eventually they're going to need water, they're going to need food, they're going to need, you know, supplies. Does it get cold at night? You know, there's lots of variables that they need to figure out and answer for surviving on this planet for any length of time. So, yeah. Curious how they're going to do that. Curious about the one character played by Sam Witwer. Like, he seems to, like, be acting very, like, harshly. I don't know if he's in shock. I don't know if he's like, I didn't want to, like, be in charge, but now I am. And so he's kind of, like, lashing out. I don't know if he's upset. Like, sure, I mean, all of that would make sense. He just got in a huge crash, and now he's stuck on the surface waiting for a rescue that might or might not come. But yeah, I find his behavior is interesting. I'm curious as to if it's going to continue, and then if him and the chief are going to clash, and just what's going to happen there, as well as what's going to happen with Gaius, who is also there and is not exactly the most resourceful, level-headed person that you would want maybe in this situation, although he does have, you know, 6 on tap, so she might be helpful as well. I mean, he's super smart, don't get me wrong. He might actually know a lot of things that could be helpful. He just doesn't strike me as the type of person that has been in nature a lot in his life. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I think I'm literally just rambling at this point. I really liked it. I really liked the start of season 2. I can't wait to see where we go from here. If you guys liked it, then feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already, because I'm gonna keep going with Battlestar Galactica, and if you like that, then you'll like it here, probably, most likely. Anyway, you can also watch the next episode right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, that will be over on Patreon, which is linked in the description down below. You can also watch my entire full-length reaction to this episode and every episode thus far of Battlestar Galactica, including the mini-series that took place before the seasons. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope to see you next week for the second part of this episode. Until then, bye guys.